right, Michael, it's time. We got to do
Well
some
done.
takeaways. We still have about 95 people with us. So that's great to
I
kind of
always love it when the people hang on to the bitter end, although we're now
uh,
down.
to hear what Cynthia and Michael have to say about things, right?
Oh, yes, because we are obviously the pearls of the whole,
Yeah.
of the
So you
whole.
want to go first? What are your thoughts of our
Well,
day?
I just, one thing, and I want to apologize. We made a mistake in terms of the slides from Tracy Meehan's AI presentation. So the correct slide deck is now up. You will need to refresh that page. But if you refresh that page, you should be able to access the correct slide deck. So my apologies for that. That's on us, on me. But that is now available. So I think, again, this whole conference has been around this notion of policy and advocacy. And I know the word policy can be a very scary term because it means, ooh, policy. And it just sort of seems like, oh, that's that thing that those people do. Because, in terms of those of us who are practitioners, communicators, writers, editors, educators, all of that sort of thing, that sort of seems like, kind of an over there thing, but it's not. And one of the things I've learned in my, many years in this field is that there is a responsibility that goes along with this area of health literacy and health equity. And that is to, not only make sure that we um, understand and try and make sure that the information that we're bringing forward is, understandable, usable, actionable, it is fair, it is just, it is really reflective of the people that we are serving, but also that we look to those larger systems, whether it's where we work, whether it's the county health department, whether it's a state regulation, whether it's a federal level policy, and make sure that all of those groups and those individuals and those organizations are aware of the work that we're doing and its importance and why we need to make sure that everything that we do is toward achieving that level playing field, that everybody has access to the information that they need, and that it's information that they can actually use, and that just depending upon who you are and where you live and what color your skin is or what language you speak, these should not be factors that influence whether you get information. But these are just challenges for us in the system. Look, we are the experts. We're the ones with the knowledge and the information. It's not a problem of somebody else. It's our challenge to make sure that we are serving everybody who wants to get access to this information. And so whether it's AI, whether it's anything, it is up to us to make sure that we are as informed as possible and that we are the ones who are bringing that information to the table, and that we are the ones that need to make sure we are getting a seat at that table so we can have those conversations and make sure that everything that we're doing is moving toward that ultimate goal of achieving health equity for everybody.
Yeah, anybody who's kind of heard me speak before knows that one of my obsessions is this, scale. And that's probably why I work in public health rather than on the clinical side. It takes people working at all levels. So when we teach our health literacy classes here at the University of Maryland, we use the socio-ecological framework to explain it to our students. It's not, we say that individual level behavior change is important, but if you just stay at that level, you're really missing all the other opportunities that come at the interpersonal and the family and the community and the organization and the policy levels, right? So that's why we teach all those other levels. And for me, that's really what policy represents is change at scale, right? So I do care about changing things at the individual level, but I really care about changing things at scale. Right. And that to me is what a policy is about. A policy says it's not just about what one person does. It's about what a lot of people, what a lot of organizations, what we at some group level are going to do. And so I think that's why, you know, It would be, my job would be probably a lot easier to do if I just sort of stayed in the confines of the university and did what I do. But, for me, my scale is the state of Maryland. And that's what I really try and see my organization trying to do, is think about what are the many challenges and opportunities and strategies that will work on the scale of a state. And I know many other people are doing similar things across the country and across the world. So I think, we're at a really interesting time. I feel like these presentations in some ways are a little bit of a departure from some of our previous conferences, that we've done under this banner. I feel like they were four very different topics, but that they all represent different ways of thinking about what kinds of policies are important, how to get them, and why, they matter, and why thinking about policy should be part of what everybody does in their day-to-day work. And again, you don't have to, quote, be a policy person, right, to be a contributor to policy development in your organization, or think about it even in a network, right? If you work at a hospital, your hospital is probably part of a network somehow. Even if it's a standalone hospital, it's probably going to be networked with some primary care or federally qualified health centers or something. There's going to be some connections that you could make and kind of work more broadly. So I do hope people think about that from the presentations today, is that we live in a very complex time with a lot of technology and system level changes. And I think, policy's got to be just part of how health literacy people do their work going forward. Otherwise, I think we are going to kind of be a little bit left behind. Like Tracy said, there's only going to be two kinds of people, right? Those who are, not participating, what'd you say, not participating in AI, and those who are, the ones
We're
guiding
using
AI is going to develop. Yeah.
yeah.
So
No,
I think we should be part of the latter.
absolutely. And I think, there was a time when those of us in this field could just sort of, get up in the morning, go to work and say, here's what I'm doing, and I'm going to wail away at what I do. And, when it's 5 o'clock, punch my clock and I'm kind of done for the day. But I think our world has grown. And I think the responsibility for who we are, and that those of us, health literacy is really an overlay, right? I mean, everybody does what they do. I mean, you're a clinician, you're a communicator, you're in government, you're in academia, and health literacy is kind of a principle that gets infused into everything you do. And so I think the when you take on that responsibility and say I'm a health literacy advocate, I think it means an awful lot more nowadays. And it means that you need to be educated yourself. You need to be an influencer. You need to be somebody who stands up and talks about this and initiates these conversations, and that you take that seat at the table. And if you're in a hospital or a health system or a clinic or what have you, you're the one who is starting to identify, look, here's some of the things we're doing, and these really aren't working as a result of, because of some of these practices and principles. Our discharge instructions, our the way that people can try to navigate, how we educate patients, how we, just how we communicate with individuals, how we treat people who don't look exactly the same way we do, right? So there's all of these questions and all of these challenges around the things that exist in our world. And I think if we want to, consider ourselves to really be truly health literacy advocates, and we want to take the message of Health Literacy Month to heart, we need to step forward, and we need to do a little bit more. And that means really understanding and advocating for for all of the goals and the things that we really want to have achieved, to achieve. And as I said, there's a lot of ways for us to do that. Being connected with our community is a great way, and not to just continually plug this, but be a part of that health literacy discussion list, which you get access to when you sign up for that the Health Literacy Solution Center. I think just being part of that larger community and taking advantage of the opportunities that we can to really effect positive change it's a responsibility that we all really need to embrace.
Mhm. Well, just to wrap things up, so as we said at the beginning of the conference, all the presentations will be available in the Solution Center, I believe, in about a week or so. And you had access to the slides through the online login page today. And then we are asking you to complete a conference evaluation form. Just to repeat again what we said at the beginning, we really take the feedback seriously, and it does inform a lot of the decisions and programming that we do around this conference and around Michael's May conference as well. We try and kind of link up some of the topics and themes and speakers and whatnot. So we do appreciate you taking a few minutes to give us this feedback and let us know what you think. We've seen very positive comments in the chat today, so thank you to all the people who have been commenting on that. And we hope we gave you some value in terms of the time spent today. And I feel like just personally, there were just so many practical tips and ideas that, I hope that I see lots of them in action over the next year. So thank you for your time. Is there anything else, Michael or
Nope.
Diana?
Nope, that's it. Again, happy Health Literacy Month. And again, for the AI, refresh your screen, you'll get that slide deck. If you're interested, the Health Literacy Annual Research Conference theme is going to be around AI. And again, just get on that Solution Center, healthliteracysolutions.org, and that connects you to the rest of the community. No cost. We don't sell your information, anything like that. So jump on board, join us, and let's change the world. Thank you very much.
I'm all for that. Have a great Health Literacy Month, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.